the location where Israeli and Lebanese officials negotiated and concluded an armistice agreement in 1949, which ended the Lebanese-Israeli component of the 1948 War of Israeli Independence. A border passage across the blue line into Lebanon at the site is sometimes used by uniformed personnel. The Rosh Hanikra crossing, also known as Ras al-Nakura, is an international border crossing between Nakura, Lebanon and Rosh Hanikra, Israel. Rosh Hanikra is a chalk cliff on the beach of Upper Galilee, on the border between Israel and Lebanon. Chiseled out into labyrinthine grottos filled with seawater formed by the geological and biological processes and by waves lapping on the soft rock. Throughout human history, Rosh Hanikra served as point of passage for trading caravans and armies between Lebanon, Syria, the northern cultures, and Israel, Egypt, Africa, the southern cultures. The book of Joshua, ch. 13 verse 6, mentions Misrapot Aim, south of Rosh Hanikra, as the border settlement of the Israelite tribes of the period. The Jewish sources referred to the cliff as the Ladder of Tyre, and as such as mentioned for the first time in the book of Maccabees. Josephus in the book of the Bell Judorium mentioned the high ridge 100 stadia from the Acre, known by the people the Ladder of Tyre. It was also the place Solma did soar. After the Arab conquest, the site was renamed Anawakir, or the Grottos. The present name, Rosh Hanikra, is Hebraicized version of the latter Arabic vibration, Rosh Anakura. In 701 BCE, the army of Sennacherib passed the way between Tyre and the land of Israel. Alexander of Macedonia, 323 BCE, is credited for having used a tunnel of Rosh Hanikra to create a passageway for his army after besieging Tyre. Armies of the Seleucids and the Ptolemies in their wars in the 3rd and 2nd century BCE made use of this road, as did the Crusaders in 1099 CE. Documents and drawings of the pilgrims show stairways right into the rock, facilitating the passage of caravans. The first road accessible to motor vehicles was cut by the British Army during World War I. At the time of the British Mandate in Palestine, a road was laid for commercial and private use. a border post and customs office were established as the site. After the fall of the Vichy government in France, who also held power in the Lebanon, there is a second tunnel whose entrance can be seen on the northern side. This tunnel enters Lebanon and leads to the third tunnel entirely in Lebanon. The bridge and tunnels were also constructed by engineering units of the British Army from South Africa and New Zealand. The building of the system took about 1 year, and it was opened for passengers and freight rail traffic on 1942. Part of Haapala, or the illegal immigration fleeing from the Nazis, made use of the tunnel to find haven in the land of Israel. In 1947, the British decided to open a civilian passenger to serve on the line, but this decision was never implemented. At the end of 1947, the Israeli War of Independence broke out. The Western Galilee was cut off from the rest of the country. It was feared that Arab forces would use the railroad to bring volunteers and arms from Lebanon to aid their forces in Haifa. On the 9th of March 14, 1948, under cover of darkness and cloudy weather, a sabotage unit of the Carmel Division of the Haganah entered the tunnel and the Grotto Bridge under the nose of the British police in their station, today the youth hostel at Hanikra, and blew up the western end of the bridge. After the withdrawal, all the British police force, the area came under Israeli control. In the grottos, there are cavernous tunnels formed by geological and biological processes, together with the sea action on the soft chalk rock. The total length is some 200 meters. They branch off in various directions with some interconnecting segments. In the past, the only access to them was from the sea, and experienced divers were the only ones fortunate enough to visit. So guys, ang Hanikra po ay hindi lang grotto, kundi ito rin ay nagsisilbing passages ng iba't ibang country noong panahon ng digmaan. Under the grottos, marami po siyang tunnel na nag-form, and also they build a railway through Lebanon, Syria, Turkey, at sa Europa po. And hindi nga lang siya natuloy nang magkaroon ng digmaan. Sa ngayon po, ang Hanikra ay isa sa tourist attraction ng Israel. Ito yung tinatawag nila na Hanikra, the Grotto. Sa ilalim nito yung mga tunnel, at sa pinakatuktok naman nito ay ang gate ng border between Israel and Lebanon. So makasaysayan po ang Rosh Hanikra, the Grotto. So I will invite you all guys, if you have chance na makapunta dito sa Israel, don't forget to visit the Rosh Hanikra in Western Galilee. This is our third time to visit Rosh Hanikra at hindi po kami nagsasawa dahil napakaganda po talaga niya. You can also watch my videos entitled Rosh Hanikra, the Grottos. Nandoon po makikita nyo kung paano kayo makakarating sa baba. And meron din po Rosh Hanikra Beach. Doon naman ay pupunta kayo doon sa pinakababa, doon sa view from the top. Bababa naman kayo doon sa pinaka beach. Ayan guys, hanggang dito na lang ulit. And sana nagustuhan ninyo ang vlog namin dito sa Rosh Hanikra. We have Rosh Hanikra Grottos, Rosh Hanikra Beach, Rosh Hanikra View from the Top, and Rosh Hanikra, the border of Israel and Lebanon. Ayan guys, thank you so much for watching and see you again on our next vlog. Bye!